we are back. Last week we were joined by some representatives of the Belize Defense Force, and they were telling us all about the Belize Defense Force Day that was held last Saturday. And a big and exciting part of that event was the BDF Dog Show. And here to tell us all about how that went are some of the participants from the show. So we've got judges, and of course, as you can see, we've got some of the dogs here who've won some of the prizes. So with us this morning is Colonel Anthony Velasquez, Assistant Superintendent Brent Hamilton, and Kevin Thiessen. Good morning, and thanks for joining us.
Good morning, sir.
And perhaps you can introduce our viewers to some of the lucky winners. Who's here with you?
Well, this is Chiquita. She's a Chihuahua, 3 years old, and she won the first place for the smallest dog.
Okay. Yeah. And who's this?
This is Ajax. He is a half Labrador, half Boxer cross. 2.5 years old. He won second place in the largest dog class, as well as he won the Best of the Best award.
All right. So perhaps you can tell us all about the competition and how it went.
Well, we started off about 3 o'clock, and we had like an early registration at 2:30. We had we had categories of smallest, largest dog with the best trick, and we also had the best of the best, and we had the best patlika. What was so fortunate that no patlika showed up, right? No one didn't really enter into the patlika, but what was so amusing to me, and I want to get this across, that I really applaud the BDF for having a show like that, because there was a lesson learned from the dog show also, right? And we realized that there were a lot of dogs out there, but there are only so many people with confidence that put the dogs in the different categories. And the BDF had really tweaked the event so that it could have been, just try, just see what you can do. So walking around, and I did a little interview as the chief judge. I saw there's a need now for another dog show, which was like a show that we say best of breeds. That will come soon. We will have that on stream. It's a little bit of planning. We need to get a breed expert into the country, and we will promote that, and we will say what we're going to do. But what I really wanted, the lesson that I really learned, that we have dog handlers who was out there who administered their own medical, do their own injection, or they got someone doing an injection, and I wanted to alert to them that they should be a vet only, because they could have been the wrong doses, and they could have killed the dog and so forth. So that was one of the lessons learned. The other lesson learned, training. A lot of them didn't have well trained as to obedience. So I have identified that many people need their dog to be obedience trained, because it was a lot of stress. The dog have never been around a lot of dogs. They haven't been around a lot of people moving friskly, and they go into what we call like activity mode. They don't know their surroundings. They go into guard. They go to protection, and they handle. So training was one of the most one of the factors that we learned. And the third one was that we realized that a lot of people, we didn't ask for it, but after doing some interview, where you take a dog, where do you get your dog attended to, how do you keep up with this medical record? And a lot of them do not do that. So with this another dog show, that would be definitely have to be the criteria, having the vet cards and to know what breed the dogs and so forth. But it was a very, very good day. We had a very good weather. We had barriers set up. Colonel, we organized to have like a little ring. And when we said the dog show start, look here, the people just crowd that thing. One of the next things that I liked was when we did the canine demonstration from my police canine unit, and we asked people to participate to hide the drugs or to move the box. And so they were wondering, like, okay, this dog could go out and just, wherever they handle and the dog went somewhere else and they come back and the dog will find it. So all those highlights of, we call our police canine service dog, because they are a dog that has been trained. All of that came out good. But people were amazed of seeing this dog, the little small dog, the way how he runs in the arena, right? They all clap, right? And I couldn't say it was a success for me. The BDF Dog Show to me was a very success.
And we also want to hear, of course, from some of the participants. What was it like for you and the Chiquita participating?
It was great. First time I participated with her in any dog show at all, and it was awesome. The response from the public was just very encouraging, and Chiquita seemed to like the applause as well. When people were cheering for her, she seemed to notice and then started to prance out, you know. Yeah. So it was awesome. A good day for myself, my family, and her to see her out there.
And did you do any sort of preparation training leading up to the event?
No, not really. Basically, we just got her used to being around other people besides myself, my wife, and my son. And she performed well. I mean, at the end of the day, a bit of the stress caught up with her at the end, and she didn't want to walk for a little while. But otherwise than that, it was great. And she's socializing with more dogs, and it's awesome.
That's right.
Okay. And you, Kevin?
Likewise, it was the first time for me to be at a dog show with Ajax. I've never done that before. I live at home on a small 2-acre property. He doesn't see a lot of other dogs. So what Mr. Hamilton was talking about is very much true, is that the dog isn't socialized. So it was definitely a challenge to just calm him down. So because he was trying to rush at a few dogs, right? But it started out that way, but then as the day and more dogs came up, he kind of relaxed. And that's what I liked about him. Like, I spent 2 weeks, a week and a half, really, that's all I did, just to get him used to walking heel and stuff. Like, I've done basic training before, but to really be make it a little more intense and say, hey, I need you to be right here beside me. I did that 2 weeks, and he picked that up so quick, and it was really cool. So he's been a highlight from my wife and I. I mean, he's a watchdog at home. He's friendly, but he puts on a really good show for what I need from him. Yeah. And to be out seeing dogs. What a big highlight for me for the dog show was like Mr. Hamilton said, there would be nice to have more competitors. But what was really cool was there was so many different dogs that did show up. Right? They weren't all in the show perhaps, but you saw a lot of bullies and pit bulls that were well taken care of. And that's what I love to see. As a dog owner, I take care of my dog, right? I feed him the best dog food I can possibly feed him. It costs money, yes, but man, to have it come back like that and to see other people taking care of their dogs, beautiful event. I was very glad to be there.
Right. And you as the chief judge, what were some of the things that you were looking at when you were judging the competition?
Well, it was easy for smallest dog. We take our measuring tape, right, and we measure from his foot up to his right here, right. We were not looking for the dog with the most pounds, right. So we're looking at height, structure. We look at the activity of the dog. So we ask them that whenever they come into the arena, I want to see the natural attitude of the dog, how he glands, how his head is up, and so we're looking at activity. We had a vet there, Mr. Bennett. Thank you, Mr. Bennett. His responsibility was to look at the medical health of the dog. So if you saw a lot of scratch, if you saw their teeth were not taken care of, whatever, he had a judge on that. And then we had a police instructor, who is my Corporal Cano. His job was to look at, just like what my friend talked about, how well the dog respond if they are saying walk, if they are saying heel. So we had a little categories. The same rule will apply for smallest and large dog. For the dog with the best trick, we had a dog, a shepherd that was out there. And what the guy did, he put like 6, 7 different blocks, right? So your trick's supposed to wow me. Yeah. If you know wow me, I got a scoring system with like 1 to 5, 5 would have been high. So if you impress me, well, I'm gonna give. So, but they had to say, what was your trick? Right? So I could look for it. If you tell me your dog's gonna jump out of a helicopter and rappel, I want to see that, right? Right. So he put some blocks quickly, and then what he did, he was just telling us how his dogs climb these blocks, come down, and then how he put his foot, and that's the way he went along with some other obedience, right? And then we didn't have the pat lick up. I saw a lot. Yeah. But I tried to go around and explain, hey, Padleka just help your dog, so forth. And I guess people just wanted to cool off. They didn't want to be pressured. So I didn't pressure anybody. So we didn't have that. But we had which dog could eat the most dog food fast. Yeah. So we had 2 persons came in. We got some Canadine from our friend from Ramaz. I said I want them to put some other, they had like canned food. So give it a little more spice up so when they reach it there, and one of the dogs is here. It's a winner. We have the sergeant from the BDF Rowland. His dog didn't. The only thing that I think there was like, I don't know if it was a pound or pound and a half. There was a lot of dog food. And lesson learned, we put the dog food, but we didn't put water. Right? If I had put water, then we'd have probably been there longer. They will drink, they eat, they will drink and eat. So the idea was to see. So we know that the kind of dog food is good. So that was one of them. Then we had the best of the best. Yeah. So we took all the winners from those categories. It was hard for the judge, and they have to walk around. You have to say, if this chihuahua look better than this lab mix, if you look better than Rayan dog, if you look better than shepherd, and it was a criteria that is very hard to sometimes you might have quarrels. Some people think their dog look better than the next dog. But what made his dog stands out is that we could have not found like some dog had like dog bites. Okay. Some dog their skin were falling off. Some. So that was the edge that made him win, because he was well coated, well shined, well alternative. So when they walk on, he still. So he still, and so his dog was was pronounced the best of the best, right? So it was very good. We moved away from obedience, and we saw that many people wanted to do obedience. So I was kind of wondering, okay, we moved away from obedience last year because not everybody could have put the dog to sit, to stay, to whatever the case might be. But it was great.
I'm also interested to kind of know what made you interested in participating in the competition. So,
well, I'm a dog lover. That's the first thing, and I've been to one show that Brent hosted before in Belmopan. So I saw a lot of people come out, and I saw where people in Belize really take care of the dogs. They love their dogs, and they want to take them out to socialize with other dogs. So we decided to have the dog show this year. Not at the last minute, but with a few weeks to spare. And it turned out great. The big takeaway for us is many people came out with their dogs, so they want something like this. So there's a want in the society for a dog show. So that's what we took out of it.
Yep. You?
Yeah, for me the desire to participate was basically I have a beautiful dog, and I'd like to show him off, right? I'm proud of the way that he has turned out, and to see that, and definitely to socialize him as well and get him used to other dogs. So that was. Yeah, having a good-looking dog, you want to show them what they look like.
For sure. And was there anything that you guys maybe learned, or some special experience that you take away from being a part of the competition? Or maybe something surprising that happened?
Well, no, just love of dogs and seeing other breeds out there and people with their dogs, with well taken care of dogs, and to get to pet them and see them, see people's reaction to the dogs. Like the biggest dog was a huge dog, like well over 150 pounds, and to see the reaction of of everyone. So it was that's my takeaway, just the joy and the happiness and the appreciation that it brought to people.
Yeah,
I would very much second that as well. To see so many dogs out and the way people are proud to show their dogs and display them, and then like you said, the love for dogs. As was mentioned before, there is so much opportunity for more dog shows that when organized well and stuff, they can do very, very well. And so that was a big bonus for me. I would love to see that happen more.
Well, I stress as a chief judge and the person who there with the shoulders with all the responsibility to make sure that no incident happened, and we had no incident. So I was part of safety, and so when you see like about 40 dogs or 50 dogs on a compound, the last thing you don't want to hear is one dog, we call it loose dog. And the handler is chasing a dog, and in training they teach you that whenever a dog gets out of your hand and he runs and you set chase behind him, he thinks that you are playing. He thinks that you are playing hide and seek. So he go fast. But if he saw his rival, like this dog and that dog, they might not like each other, just like human. And he get a chance to go, it was going to be a dog fight. And to go part of a dog fight, someone is going to get bit because someone's going to go in there. And so I was panicky. My thing was looking around, trying to tell people, oh, you keep a dog there, stay away from here. And then I learned that a lot of people didn't have leash handling skills. Like for instance, like if I hold the leash, like I should have let me yours right here. right? Just a little tip, a free tip, right? Most people walk a dog like this. This is wrong. If this dog jerk you and you go, this is going to slip, and it's gone. The proper way to walk with a leash like this is take the thumb and you put it here, and then you keep this here. So when the dog pulls, this is a lock. The thumb became a lock on your hand, so your dog
Can't break the thumb.
he can't break he cannot come out of that. So that was one of the most tips I gave out there, because a lot of people just have them with just have them in the hand and goes, right? So I think we're going to step up the game. We're going to have a breeds dog show. I'm knocking my partner to my left. I'm knocking you. I'm knocking open your eyes to be there. As for 1 hour, we're going to put the idea that I have is to put all aggressive dogs in a category. So if you have pit bull, Rottweiler, they will be in a category. Then we have the breed category. So if the dog is only pit, then it's only pit. If it's only shepherd, it's only shepherd. If it's only Labrador, it's only Labrador. If it's only Chihuahua, and all the dogs that classify underneath the Chihuahua clans, right? So I'm looking forward for that, because I see a lot of Belize has. We are almost there with America. We are almost there with having all these type of dogs. If you ask me how all these dogs migrates, they came right from Mexico. They came off the plane, and we have an interaction. Just like if you go into our history, how we all came to this extent. Right?
Yeah. So it definitely sounds like it was a fun-filled and learning-filled day as well. And you know, you also had mentioned earlier that we do have with us the dog who won the food eating competition, or who could eat the fastest.
Yes,
so we're gonna go over right now, and we're going to talk to Sergeant Rowland, and we're gonna meet his dog. So I'll just head over here.
Yeah, cool.
All right. So good morning, gentlemen. We have with us now, we have Sergeant Rayan Rowland, and we're also joined by Kendall Reimer, who participated in this week, and we have the who's this? Introduce him to our viewers.
This is Brusky.
Brusky?
He's 22 months old, almost full 24, and I got him as a pup from one of my church sister, and she never wanted so many dogs in her yard, so she said, you know what, guys, I have some pups and I need to get rid of them. So I decided to say, you know what, let me have one. And he's actually a full breed pit bull. Mom and dad is full breed. So the color, I love it, because it outstands anything when it comes to the darkness of the night. And whenever he's in the yard, nobody can see him at all.
All right. Yeah, no, this is good. So, and he won the who can eat the quickest competition. So did you know already from, you know, having raised him and stuff that he has a big appetite?
Honestly, yes, I know that he has a big appetite. However, you know, I always feed him sometimes off the table and with the pedigree mixed. So whenever I feed him, I will feed him with pound of chow, and that's it. He always takes down all of it.
Yeah. And so did you expect that he was going to win?
I never expected it, but when I saw his competitor, I said, you know what, there's no way. There's no way he got this.
Yeah, and you know, the superintendent or assistant superintendent did mention that you know, they were eating some of the Canada foods, which we can see right here. And so perhaps, Kendall, you can tell us all about Reimers and the food that we're seeing in front of us.
Yes, yeah, I'm Kendall Reimer here from Reimer's Feed Mill, and we're really proud here to be part of the BDF Day. We did participate on the event. We had our display there with our dog foods, which we call, or we know that it's the best dog food out there, and we want a dog like Ajax that we just saw on the show was that that he has been fed this Kennedy dog food, and the reason for him to be the dog that he is because of Kennedy dog food, right? And so therefore, Reimer's Feed Mill, we have the pet supplies, whatever you need. We care for our dogs. That's why we're there. We are out throughout the whole country of Belize, supporting the dog lovers and everybody there to feed the dog, right?
Yeah. And we have, we've got food, we have treats there that I can see. What makes the food the best? Is it the nutrition?
The one on the Kennedy, which is the all life stages,
Yeah.
it's a pretty basic dog food. The main ingredients, when we look at dog foods, we look at the ingredients first. And when we see the dog food, it's the first ingredient that we look at is chicken meal. The all life stages is made out of 4 main formulas. It's made out of turkey, chicken, lamb, and fish meal. So it's a high quality dog food. There's no corn, no soy in it, no grain. So it makes it a very, very high quality dog food, and that the dog can eat what he likes to eat, right? So yes,
Yeah. So that's good. And so, Sergeant, I'm interested, what made you sort of interested in participating in the BDF Dog Show?
Honestly, I was out there selling food.
Oh,
And my daughter came and said, you know what, Daddy, there's only 2 dogs. Why don't you go home for Brusky? Because his name is actually Brusky. I said, you know what, baby, Daddy never gone into a dog show before, never. So anyways, just for the love of it, I will go home for the dog. And I did. Not to find out that he was actually the 3rd largest dog too.
Oh, wow.
And also the best pot liquor, how they would say it, but he ate the most food.
Yeah. And
So it was a first timer for me, and I
was the
I love
experience
it.
like? It was
I
good?
love it. It was a good experience. So looking forward for next year with God's willing.
Yeah. And what was it also like, sort of, seeing him associate with other dogs, and I suppose you meeting other dog owners as well?
Well, I have basically always take him off the leash and let him just roam free. It is something that I have never done before, but it was very okay. So he did respect himself without any kind of official training per se.
Okay. That's cool.
No, I think, as I said, the Kennedy dog food, it's definitely a dog food that every dog lover should consider to feed their dogs. It is a more expensive dog food, like Kevin was saying earlier already, but the results that we're seeing in the dog food versus other dog foods, it is definitely worth it feeding the Kennedy dog food. If we do the comparison of the feeding of any other dog food, feeding it.
You can pick it up and show us the camera.
Okay.
Yeah.
This if we take this dog food and we compare the price with any other dog food, if we do the feeding rate, it's not really that much more expensive than any other dog food.
Yeah.
So we do have other dog foods as well. Like it's a chicken meal and rice formula. It's mainly chicken and meal, chicken and rice. So they have the all life stages. All life stages means for all ages, sizes, and breeds. So there's no specific puppy formula or something. This one here is the lamb. It has more lamb in it, but it's all of those 3 go as a high quality dog food. And besides the dog foods, those dry dog foods, we do have the canned dog foods as well. The Kennedy canned dog foods. We do have the snacks. When the dogs do some tricks or whatever, you could give them a little snack. Candies, we could call them.
Candy,
Besides the snacks, we do have toys, balls, throwing them, have the dog go catch them. And also we have other treats for dogs. And the list goes on and on. Come check us out, check our stores when we have everything you need, right? So I know when a dog lover comes into our stores, he's there for a reason and he likes it, right? So.
And you said you're countrywide as well, right?
That's right, we're countrywide, yes.
All right. Okay, so we also, again, we want to thank the members of the BDF and the participants of the dog show who did participate in the show that was held on Saturday. You know, we saw the smallest dog, we saw the second biggest dog, and we were also joined by the best in breed. We also want to thank Sergeant Rowland for coming, showing us Brewski, the dog with the biggest appetite, and of course Kendall Reimer for sharing all the information about the Canada foods and all of the products that you can find at Reimer's. If you're a dog lover, an animal lover, there's so much you can find there. So gentlemen, thank you for coming on the show. It was a pleasure to have you. That was it. We heard all about it, and we have one final break, and we are going to come back with our show's wrap up. So do stay tuned.